Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis, the podcast where we'll dive deep into the world of educational leadership. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we embark on the inspiring journey together. As a superintendent once myself, I understand the challenges and complexities that come with leading a school district. But what I've come to realize is that there's abundance of amazing work being done by superintendents all across our country. This podcast is a platform to shine a spotlight on their incredible accomplishments and innovative approaches. Each episode will bring you exclusive interviews and superintendents from various districts across our country, both big and small, urban and rural, as they share their personal stories, triumphs, and even their moments of vulnerability. We will explore the strategies they employ to tackle the ever-evolving landscape of education, from fostering equity and inclusivity to embracing technology and preparing students for their future. But this podcast isn't just about showcasing success. It's about fostering a community of educational leaders who can learn from one another, share their experiences, and collectively navigate the complexities of our role. We'll discuss the tough topics as well, the difficult decisions, and the innovative solutions that are transforming education for the better. So while you're an educator, a parent, a student, or simply someone who's passionate about education, this podcast is for you. Superintendents Unplugged is your behind-the-scenes pass to the world of educational leadership, where we uncover the stories that inspire, motivate, and empower every one of us. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and entertained as we embark on this incredible journey together. I can't wait to introduce you to the remarkable superintendents who are changing the educational landscape one district at a time. Welcome to another episode of Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and today from Ohio, we have the Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Alesia Smith. Doc, from Cincinnati. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. So is this your first ASU GSV?
It is.
All right. So far in San Diego, beautiful place.
Oh, it's gorgeous here.
Awesome.
Gorgeous.
Weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
Much better than Ohio.
Much better.
Yeah.
We're flooding right now.
Oh my gosh. Those of y'all watching back home, she's having a ball. So talk about, this is a really innovative opportunity to come.
Yeah.
And you got AI, you got technology, you've got a lot of movement about how you drive the work educationally with platforms, supplemental materials, core materials. How's it been so far?
It's been amazing. I've had the opportunity to sit with entrepreneurs who have actually prototypes that they want our schools to buy.
Okay.
And either we were in an exercise that said, you're going to buy it, you're going to try it, or they need to go back and revise it.
Oh, love that.
And so we sat with those entrepreneurs and looked at the things that they're trying to sell to schools, why they're trying to sell it, who is it going to benefit? Always the kids, but some of them parents, right? So for me, it's been great. We talked a lot about AI and how we're going to use AI with the kids, what that looks like, not turning AI over to the kids, but what part will the kids play in AI? So it's been really great for me.
That's awesome. I mean, listen, I see that smile on your face and joy. You're like, let's see here. Wish you would have known about it sooner.
Yes.
You'll bring some team members next time.
Yes.
So Doc, you just talked about AI. AI, and I say this, in some parts of the country, we still have people saying stay away from it. Yeah. And let's be honest, it's not going away. And from that side, we know that AI is 80% a generator, an idea generator, and 20% will we make it our own and how we triangulate it. How, has Cincinnati started to look at policies and embraced it or guidelines for AI?
Yeah,
it's not going away, right?
No, it's not going away. We already have a policy in place. So we got ahead of it. We knew the kids were going to be using it. We knew teachers were going to be using it. So let's put some guidelines in place because we still want the kids to be critical thinkers. We still want them to be able to write. We still want them to use their minds, but we also want them to understand that there is a tool out there that if you use it the right way, you can benefit from it. And so that's been our big push with our kids. Now they have to learn, as some of them on there.
Yeah, that's right. We got some Addison Davises.
Voices.
Yeah, right.
But our goal would be to train them to use a tool like we use any other tool that we give them, right?
That's right.
And so if we do that, they learn to use it within respect, what it's intended for, and that is a tool to help us enhance our lives and make things better.
Right, and spot on. Thank you for being a forward thinker and galvanizing your team and your board to say, you know what, this is how we're going to embrace it. Policies, procedures, guidelines, and we're going to rock and roll, because what a beautiful opportunity that it has to accelerate learning, to be able to identify areas of opportunity and look at trends and patterns in your district and personalize the work.
Yes.
In that, you've held a lot of positions in education. 34 years. 34 years. I made it 26. And I was like, I'm tapping out. 34 years. And listen, with the energy you got today, you got many more in you.
I do.
So, you've seen a lot happen. And I think that you've held one of the most important jobs in a school district, being a chief of schools. I'm a former chief of schools. And in Duval County, Nikolai VD, it is one of the most important conduit bridge between the school district and schools, and having all type of relationships. How important was that role that you filled every day?
It was one of the. It's a sweet spot, right? Because you're in the district office, but you get to spend time in the schools, and I think what happens sometimes when we get to central office, we get disconnected because we don't go to the school. So what I love most about it is I got the best of both worlds. I was in a space where I could make decisions that impact change in the school, but I could also go into the school and see that change happening. Okay. Right. And so for me, I loved it. I love the principals. I think as a principal, that's one of the hardest jobs.
My favorite job.
Yes. And it's one of the hardest because you have to please everybody. Everybody wants a piece of the principal, right. The community, the parents, the teachers, the kids, all the staff. So I love them and I love on them because I need them to know that we need you to lead. But, and I hold them accountable though. But we have to take care of them. So that chief of school jobs was really sweet because then I could see the data. You could see kids moving. If kids weren't moving, you could sit down and let's talk about why they're not moving. What's happening here? What support does your teacher need? That's right. So from the chief of schools lens, you can start with support, always accountability, but support. Let's support these people. We got to give them what they need to get the job done. And if they refuse to do the job, then that's a whole nother conversation. Right? But I think giving them support, that role, I loved it. And I did it in both places. They changed the name on us, right? So you're a deputy, you're chief of school, you're chief of systemic improvement. It's all about the work in the schools and producing impact, positive impact for our kids, right? Grow for our kids. Because my thoughts around it all the time is that if we are not making sure kids learn how to read, if we are not making sure they have foundational math skills, we're taking opportunities away from them. And so when I learn how to read on grade level, my confidence builds up, right? When I can do math, my confidence is built up. So then I begin to want to do something else with my life besides sit back and feel like I have no hope, right? And so I think that's the chief of schools role. That's right. It's to inspire, encourage, correct, and walk side by side with the principals so that they get the work done for the kids.
Thank you for saying that because it's a blended role, right? You're working collectively with the chief academic officer, with the school safety division, with the IT division. Procurement, finance, Title I, everything. And you're driving the work out to every one of your schools, doing it for capacity building. It's not easy. You're dealing with fire alarms. You're dealing with parent issues. All those elements by trying to push the work to help build capacity of learners and at the same time build capacity of students. It's one of my favorite jobs, chief of schools. Now, but you did a good job, and your fault for doing a good job. Now you're the deputy superintendent, right? So now, hey, we're gonna put you over everything, not just schools. So how's that role been?
It's very similar. Yeah. I think it's just a little bit more, more departments, right?
It's everybody.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, more departments reporting to you. So it gets a little bigger. But I told somebody this yesterday. I was talking to some of the people here and they were talking about promotion. And I was saying, if you are going to walk in a role in central office, an assistant soup or director, make sure you schedule time to get in schools.
That's right.
Like I'm telling you, if you don't do it, you get disconnected from the work and then you don't make decisions that are good for kids. But if you go in, and even if you just go in twice a month, just ask them, can you read to a group of kids? Just schedule an hour. I'm not asking you to give up your whole day, but it will change your life when you go in and read to a group of kids, when you see their faces light up, when they know you when you walk in the building because you've read to them.
Okay.
So that piece of the work. So being a deputy, my secretary be like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Take some time. I need to be in the school. I need to read
triple
to the
booked.
third graders."
Triple booked.
Like, what? I'm like, "I need to read to the third graders. Put it on my schedule." And so that's a priority for me. And I think if you're going to be successful at the district level,
Right.
it has to be a priority for you, because if you get disconnected from the work, you're no good to anybody.
It's no
good. You're no good.
I mean, Doc, you said it well. I mean, going into schools and not only interacting with students, but looking at student product, looking at whether or not students are demonstrating understanding, ownership, being able to be a thought partner with a school, with teachers about what's working, what's not, what to do differently from a curriculum perspective. It's the beauty and the power of having that relationships. And you said it well. They know you. They know you care. Not just showing up for a photo, but you're showing up to be a problem solver, put your shoulder to the wheel and get down.
They know me.
That's right. So in those spots of deputy, tell me what has been, now your big focus in Cincinnati. I mean, I know that transitions are never easy, but what have you been focused on as you continue to move the work?
So Superintendent Murphy's mantra right now is here for kids.
Okay.
And so looking at the whole child. And so my take on that is that I love the whole child, but you can't be whole if you can't read and write.
That's right.
If you don't know math. So as we're looking at the whole child, we have to make sure the academics are tight. And so we're spending some time really making sure that our teachers are doing tier 1 instruction. Yeah. So as we do these instructional rounds, we're looking for tier 1 instruction. And if teachers don't have it, I believe in autonomy too.
Yeah.
So if you're a teacher, right? So if you're a teacher, you've been at 60, 70% the lab, keep doing what you do.
Yeah,
but if you're at 20 and 30, you need to see me, right?
Use this playbook.
Yeah, yes, you need to use our playbook. So, because the playbook you're using is not working.
That's right.
And so tier 1 is really critical for us. And we just are working through that with teachers because we have a union, we have a CBA, we have things that are in there, and we have to navigate that to make sure that everybody's doing what's best for kids.
Right.
And so our big push is actually tier 1, looking at tier 1.
Good.
We use iReady.
Good.
So we're making sure that our iReady is being used.
Yeah, all 3 districts.
Yes, and actually using the way it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Like the research says 40 minutes a week, ma'am.
And leverage
and that toolkit and passing to assessments.
Magnetic.
And right, all that. Magnetic, we got it all. Right. And then we have SABIS and My Perspectives for our older grades. And so that's a big push for us. Algebra I is a big push. It's a sore place for us right now because we're not meeting it where we want to.
Is that 9th grade course for you?
9th grade, it is. And it is a state. It is part of our report card.
Okay, so part of your accountability?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you move any of the students who are now primed and ready for 9th grade Algebra I in the 10th grade offerings at all?
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yes. And we have some 8th graders that are taking Algebra I. So, but just really focusing on that. And right now we're consolidating schools, our sustainability, performance. So we're doing some of that all at the same time. Yep. But us, schools, how we do. We can do more than one thing at one time. So we're focusing in on those are our big moving pieces right now, that consolidation. We're going to middle schools.
Okay. So tell me the configuration now.
So we're going to move the middle schools out of the high schools and make them
so you were 6-12 configuration.
Yeah, 7-12.
7-12. So now
9-12.
Did you have 6th grade? Did you have 6th grade centers?
Yes, we're going to have, no, we
6,
didn't.
7, 8.
Yes, we'll have 2 6, 7, 8 buildings, which we're going to call middle schools.
Perfect.
And then we'll have 2 7, 8, and we're going to call them junior high.
Gotcha. So then you have pre-K 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. Any thought about doing K 8s?
Pre-K to 8? A couple K 8.
Okay.
Right.
You like it?
I like K 8s.
Parents like it.
Yeah.
They want to feel comfortable. They can stay. They don't have to transition.
Yeah.
Because middle school, let's be honest, it's not an easy time.
No.
They're trying to figure out who they are, socially, emotionally, intellectual. And, my first job was a middle school principal, and I just begged the superintendent, and he's a dear friend of mine, Dr. Joey Wise. What did I do wrong? I'm a high school guy. What do you want me to do in middle school? And and I did 3.5 years at and got back to high school, but I was like, man, it is not an easy job, Doc. Well, I commend you to look at the configuration. It'll be a good study to see how well the pre-K through 6 do, how well the middle schools do versus the other infrastructure that you have.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be all eyes on us.
Yeah.
Because some of the parents were in the community weren't happy because we were doing it.
Yeah.
So they'll be watching us. So we want to make sure we do everything so that it's successful, like we would do any other year for all of our kids. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to be watching us, and we want to make sure we do what's right for kids. And the whole purpose of it all is to do what's right for kids.
And listen, I think it's the right, the right staff allocation models, the right movement, the right leaders to transition, that are community champions. And I think the right change management strategy will get you there to be successful. It's not only change management, Doc. This is project management. Systems and people. Those got to rock and roll.
I told somebody, I was like, where we're not moving is because we don't have systems, right? We have a hodgepodge.
Say it again, Doc.
We have a hodgepodge, right? We have this school's doing great, that school's doing great. It's because it's not systemic.
That's right.
Right? When you talk about really making change in the district, it's systemic work.
That's right.
So when I was in Arkansas, like Johnny was saying, when I was in Pulaski County, we were able to do systemic work. Right? So we had schools coming up being number 1 in the state. Number 2, we had schools on the U.S. news list, right? But that was systemic work. So the work started with me and all the learning services. And then I wrote it out to the instructional coaches, and the instructional coaches wrote it out to the school. And then I wrote it out to the principals. And so everybody understood the same language, same place.
This is our place.
This is what we do. Okay. How are we closing gaps here? Doesn't matter if you're a school. I'm looking at your data. Your African-American students aren't moving.
That's right.
So what are we going to do differently for them? We're going to do for our MLL students.
That's right.
But when we start moving those all kids,
we're good.
That's when we started moving the district. So it's systemic work. And so my plan for next year is to really sit with the superintendent and say, okay, how are we going to do this systemically?
That's right.
Right now, we got some time. They've given us 2 years. Let's do it and walk out of here with a bang.
You know what, Doc? I hear this, and you know what? You making me come back out of retirement now. You know what? And you got 34 years in. You talking about let's go. Talking about 2 more years and doing this. You got 2 more years in you, Doc.
I do. I love the work. I think when you're walking in your passion and what you're called to do, you don't feel like you're really working.
Yeah.
You're doing what brings you joy, right? And when kids learn, I'm telling you, when I tell you, nobody can take away your lived experience. That's right. And when I went to a school in over the Rhine in Cincinnati, low performing, high crime rate and everything, they all look like what? And those kids are now graduating from college, owning their own business. Why? Because we believed in them. And we said, listen, I know you got a lot going on, but if you don't learn how to read, baby, you're going to be stuck where you are. You want to move? You want to move? You got to, I can give you, come on, I can hug you and love you, but go to reading.
That's right.
Right? And so when you see that happening to kids and their confidence and they start walking different and they're, man,
they own that.
They own it. They own it. And so that's not isolated to that school. That can be anywhere.
I love it. One more question. Anything crazy town going on in Ohio legislatively? Any crazy things going on legislatively?
Oh, no. In Ohio right now, I told you we're flooding.
Yeah. And
so the rain has taken the Ohio River to one of its highest points. And so we are really, the water is there. We're getting ready for football season. We love our Bengals, and so we believe in Burrow.
Cool guy.
Believe in Joe going to put us back on the map this year. I mean, the Cincinnati Reds, we didn't start off so great on opening day, but hey,
we're Doc loading up on all the hometown heroes.
So, but it's a great place. I love it. I raised my family there. Hey, yeah.
Well, Doc, listen. It's been a joy to have you today. I am so glad to be able to engage in this conversation, your energy, your focus, your love. For those of you who are watching, you've heard it. Dr. Alesia Smith from Cincinnati, the deputy superintendent. For those who are looking for a superintendent, this is somebody you need to be recruiting. Focus, energy, systems, processes, all of it. Accountability, but also having the greatest support for people and understands that culture is the greatest foundation that you can have. Well, thank you so very much for marrying Doc. I appreciate it.
I'm glad I could be on.
Yeah, awesome. No worries. Thank you. Until next time, look forward to seeing you in the classrooms. I'm Addison Davis, your host of Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis.